At his daily news conference, the president touting the testing of two different drugs as possible COVID-19 therapies. Let's talk about them with former Army flight surgeon and now sitting U.S. Congressman, Tennessee Republican Mark Green. Sir, good to have you back with us.
Thanks for having me on the show, Shannon.
Okay, so obviously anything that we would be using as a drug in this country off-label has got to go through testing. The FDA has to keep the American people safe. Here's what the president said today about working with them.
And I've directed the FDA to eliminate outdated rules and bureaucracy so this work can proceed rapidly, quickly, and I mean fast. And we have to remove every barrier. There were a lot of barriers that were unnecessary. And they've done that to get the rapid deployment of safe, effective treatments.
Okay, so a couple of things. What do you know about, or could you tell us about these drugs? And also, any kind of prediction on a timeline, is it possible at this point?
Sure. There are essentially two really hopeful, promising therapies out there. The Gilead drug remdesivir, which was it was created to fight Ebola, has shown some promise, and it's actually in what's called phase 3 level studies with the FDA. The old reliable malaria drug chloroquine, the newer version hydroxychloroquine, has shown really good 3 studies, one in Australia, one in China, and now one out of France, mixed with azithromycin, just the old Z-Pak that we take for bronchitis, has had 100%, I mean, it cleared the virus in some cases in 3 days.
Wow.
That cocktail in every one of the patients in that study. Now, it was a small sample size, so it's kind of hard to extrapolate with an N equals 6 to the whole population, but it's very promising. 100% of the virus gone in 6 days.
Wow. Okay, so with those two primary drugs you talked about, are they used in concert? Are they used separately?
So the chloroquine and the azithromycin were studied against chloroquine alone and then a control group. So the chloroquine alone outperformed the control group in the French study, but the azithromycin and the chloroquine together actually outperformed chloroquine alone. So azithromycin has been used, it's mostly for atypical bacterial type pneumonias, walking pneumonias it's often called, and bronchitis. We treat it a lot for bronchitis, but it has an anti-inflammatory effect that sort of helps even in viral. It's designed to kill bacteria, but it actually helps in viral pneumonia and bronchitis too. So
okay, and quickly before we move on to the other question, my understanding is that these drugs, if they are approved for this use, are readily available. We could flood the system if necessary with them.
Sure. Well, absolutely with Z-Pak. The chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine is a generic drug. So the question will be, who's going to stand up and manufacture it?
Okay, well, hopefully a company would rise to the occasion in this case.
Sure.
I want to play something else from the FDA Commissioner, Stephen Hahn, that we heard today about this idea of compassionate use for getting this drug out there. Here's what he said.
And the really positive thing about that gives it rapidly to a doctor and a patient, but it allows us to collect the data, because what we really need to do is understand what the data and science are in order to make the appropriate decision about safety and effectiveness.
Okay, so it could be expedited to current COVID patients with the understanding that data will be collected from them and from their case. Is that part of speeding up the study process?
I mean, it can be, but a physician, an MD in the United States, can write for chloroquine right now off-label for COVID. So, that's the off-label allowances for physicians. They can do that. And there's no restrictions on chloroquine for that. Now, remdesivir is a little bit different. It's a little harder to come by, and so the phase 3 trials on remdesivir might prevent that from happening.
Okay, Congressman Mark Green, also physician, we appreciate your multi-pronged ability to give us some information tonight. We wish you all the best, as I know there is another package being worked through on the Hill tonight to provide relief.
We're reading it tonight, so.
All right, we wish you all the best, sir. Thank you.